Did you know After Effects comes with an included license for Cinema 4D Lite? And if you did, then you know why I'm learning Blender. Hey and welcome to Blended FX. I'm an After Effects user, I'm not a 3D artist. I don't enjoy setting up models, materials, lights and animation only to render for 10 hours to see the result and then have to change it and render again. I got pretty good in C4D Studio when I had a license to use it, and I'm aware that the current beta for the next After Effects, Adobe are bringing 3D directly into AE. But that's importing existing models. What I want to use a 3D program for is creating 3D models. With C4D Lite, Maxon have stripped away too many important features, making model creation a frustrating experience. So instead of spending around twice the cost of After Effects on a Maxon subscription, I've decided to learn Blender, a free, open source alternative. I'm going to share what I've learned from the perspective of an After Effects user. There's plenty of tutorials out there for Blender and 3D artists, but they're coming at it differently. As a result, I think the learning curve is steeper than it needs to be, and I'm hoping these videos will make it easier for you to get started. If you don't have Blender, head over to blender.org. At the time of recording, the latest version was 3.4.1. When it opens, you're presented with a quick start screen. Clicking anywhere dismisses it. And this is the interface. The main part is the equivalent of the comp window, but you'll notice we don't default to looking through the camera like we do in After Effects. Tapping the 0 key on the number pad toggles to that view. We have a basic cube and a light. To move around the scene, at least on PC, we need a 3-button mouse. Rolling the mouse wheel zooms the view in and out, while pressing the mouse wheel down and dragging rotates the view. To move left and right and up and down, hold the Shift key and middle mouse button while dragging. Notice as well that while I was in camera view, I wasn't moving the camera. That stays put based on its coordinates. To change the camera, it seems like I have to use this panel on the right. I'll just move out of the way. Above this properties panel, we have the object panel. This lists all the elements in the scene. We can delete all of these just by selecting them and hitting the delete key. To create a new object, which is how we start modelling, I have to make sure I'm in object mode, which is my only option currently as I deleted the objects. Now go to the Add menu, Mesh, and select Cube. And if I go back to the Object menu, you can see I now have lots of other options. We'll look at more of those in the next video. For now though, let's look at these HUD style icons. If I select Move, I get some familiar looking arrows. Finally, something that looks like After Effects. I can also rotate and scale the cube. Unlike AE though, notice that the arrows stay aligned to the world, not the object. So it's a little trickier if I move the cube in a direction of one of these faces. If you're following this video so far, hopefully that means I'm doing a goodish job of explaining it. If that's the case, any chance you could boop the old like button? I'm following this video with a few more on Blender, so there's always the subscribe button too. Just saying. To see this cube from the equivalent of the front, top and right, make sure it's not selected and then tap 1, 3 or 7 on the number pad. You can roll the mouse wheel to zoom in and out here, but if you click the wheel, you'll return to the 3D view. That doesn't reset your view back to where it was, but instead puts you in the same point, but now in 3D. You might have already noticed, but if I try to move the cube without using the 3D controls, it stays in place. To move it freely, I need to tap the G key. You'll see it sticks to my mouse and I can place it anywhere. Left clicking places it in position. I can also use the properties panel to change this too. Hitting S does the same for scale. One thing I can't do is alter the size of the cube using measurements. Cinema 4D has both dimensions and scale, whereas Blender is scale only. If I want to set an exact size, I have to do that when I first create the object. If I add a new cube through the Add menu, while the new object is still selected, I get an Add Cube menu at the bottom of the comp window. It's subtle and easy to miss. If I click on that now, I can set the exact dimension for the cube, but as soon as I click off it, that cube is now set. Any changes I make to its size, I now do through the scale. So if I want to make a thin rectangle like a billboard, I'd start with a cube at one size, say 10 meters, then drop the Z scale down to 0.3, so the height is set to the equivalent of 3 meters, and then set the X scale down to 0.05, so 50 centimeters. To lock these scales as the default for this object, in Object mode, go to Object, Apply, All Transforms, and see how the scales are all reset, but our object is the shape we wanted. And yeah, Blender swaps Y and Z axes. Blender's up is Z and its depth is Y. Who knows? There's plenty more quirks to discover. In the next video, I'm going to take a cube and model and texture it into a rock so it can be my new asteroid. And then we'll export that for use with Video Copilot's Element 3D, Helium X's Helium, and even C4D Light.